Hey, welcome to the Sunday Soother. Today I'm going to talk about several rituals that you can use as part of spring, and you can do them in full or you can just take a little part of it, something that you will find just nourishes you on some level without any pressure, without it being a to-do list as such. I think having come out of such a intense winter and wet winter, the last thing we need is to exhaust ourselves with these gigantic lists of must-dos in order to be the best selves and all that stuff that we hear about. So one of the first things that I think is a really easy thing to do that will put you in touch with your playful self and be very cleansing and calming is to take a walk and see if you can find some cleavers. Now, cleavers are those long, sticky weeds that if you pick them up and chuck them, they stick to your back or the person you're mucking around with. And I love cleavers because they have this really lovely medicinal and emotional, spiritual property to them. So they're really easy to find. They're growing all over the place, especially around the nettles, and just grab some, wash them really, really well. And then all you do is stick them in some water and put it in the fridge and just let it soak for at least 6 or 7 hours before you drink the water. You can add lemon juice if you want to. It's the idea with the cleavers is because they're sticky, they're very good for the lymphatic system. They move through you and they sort of grab and collect and collate all the things that your body would like to cleanse and remove. So they do act like a diuretic, so they do make the kidneys work more. And yeah, as I say, they're very cleansing, very good for washing away. So if there's something that you're trying to calm in the body, if you've had lots of inflammation, for example, or if there's something emotional that you've been holding on to that you're ready to let it move through you, drinking the Cleaver Juice or the magic water, the healing water, you might find that to be a really beautiful ritual that you can add in so easily. This is one of those. Grab some on the way home, chuck it under the tap, put it in a thing of water and chuck it in the fridge. And so, yeah, lovely and easy. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is this notion of, do we want to add something in or do we want to take something away? Less or more? What calls to you in terms of where you're at? Sometimes we put too much on our plate, and actually the right thing to do is to pare it back. So don't add more rituals, don't add more pressure on yourself to achieve more or run through this list of things that will be helpful or healing or whatever it might be. Add it in if it feels like that will add to you in a positive, calming, supportive way. Or think about it in terms of, if say you're trying to lose weight and you think about taking things away and it just feels deprivation, it doesn't have a good energy to it, what instead could you add in that would help you? What are you adding in? Are you adding in more green veg? Are you adding in more water? Are you adding in more protein? What are you doing that supports you and your health? So in that sense, it might be that you're drawn to add more stuff. But in another sense, it might be that you need to take something away. So maybe I'll take that pressure off. Maybe I'll reduce that to-do list. Maybe I won't check quite so many things off in a day and I'll make a little bit of peace with it. So just check in with yourself. Where are you at with your sense of productivity at the moment? And what are your goals? What are you moving towards? What are you putting your energy into? What are you focusing on? And does it feel more uplifting to think about adding something, or does it feel more uplifting to be thinking, I need to take something away for now, or just loosen the reins a little bit? Next thing is, if you've got the energy and you feel like doing it, plant a seed. It could be a sunflower seed on your work surface. It could be planting up some seeds outside in your greenhouse. It could also be that you don't have the energy for that, you don't have the time, and that makes you feel overwhelmed, in which case you don't need to have something else to do and something else to nurture and something else to watch. there's a lot of joy in watching the progression of a single seed turn into a little sprout. But if that's not calling you, just go out and buy yourself a bunch of flowers and enjoy arranging them. Or again, if that feels like another thing to do, then give yourself 5 minutes at a point when you can go outside and explore and find some of those beginnings of spring. They're everywhere if you look, these tiny little buds that are starting to appear. And I think they really bring symbols of hope, because we forget spring doesn't just instantly arrive, as we don't suddenly arrive and emerge and become. It's a slow growing process. So just, be patient with yourself and just see that mirrored back to you in the way that nature works. Because I just think nature is such a comforting mother at times, the way she'll hold us through those things and reflect back what we need to see. Next thing you could do that is such a lovely thing, it's something you can only really do March through to about May, is go and listen to the dawn chorus. So about half an hour-ish leading up to sunrise and coming into sunrise, all the different birds start waking up and doing their little party songs. And the idea is that they're calling to ask for a mate, they're trying to show off their skills and attract themselves a lady. And the sound of them all together is absolutely stunning, and it only happens in this time of year, and it's such a special thing to be outside in that stillness of the very early part of the day and to feel and hear and be part of all of this life going on. So yeah, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. In my area, it's in full flow at about 6 a.m. You can hear it starting to trickle in from about 5:30, and it carries on until about 6:30. So yeah, well worth it. And on that same level, think about another ritual that you could do that is about your sensory system, which is such an easy, quick way to access your core, your stability, your calm. And maybe if you haven't got time and space to be meditating or going on a long walk or whatever it is that you might do for you in the day that sometimes we just don't get around to, have a look around. And it doesn't have to be done all at once, but think about during the course of your day, what can I see? What can I smell? And it might be that this prompts you actually to put something on that you really like the smell of, a particular oil or perfume or incense stick or whatever it might be. And what can you hear? And again, that might prompt you to remember that album you haven't listened to for years that you actually really love, and it will reach you somewhere. I was at our lovely, lovely witchy circle, the Soul Sister Circle, on a few days ago, run by Emma Jo, Wild Ways and Lazy Days, and she was talking about this, and she was saying that she's been doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, where she'll go out and she will, first of all, she's 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, and it goes on until it's 1 thing I can taste. And again, it's a quick way to access the mindfulness, but it's a quick route back to yourself and activate some of those pleasure systems, some of those grounding principles. So yeah, at the moment, my top things for what to hear would be my dawn chorus. To smell, I've been really enjoying just burning the old, these are just dried lavender, dried rosemary, that you might have, or you might have grown, or you can buy these things, and just the smoke I'm finding very calming and very cathartic. So again, just a really nice chance to let go of anything that's not serving, and the smell for me is just instantly very grounding and supportive. Things to see for me would be I'm still really into the blossom trees. That's what really sparks my joy, is that blossom in the spring. And of course, bluebells will be coming soon, so that's a massive tonic as well. Taste, I'm just really a fan of my chai tea at the moment, so every morning I'm really appreciating the taste of that. And touch, I'm really aware of certain touches that are not sitting well with me, and making sure that I don't wear those clothes that bother me, or I have things around me that I like the feel of, like my blankets, particular clothing that I wear. But again, it might be that you touch your pet, or that you touch the leaf of a plant. Again, just a split second, but it's a moment of connection. So I hope that all those little rituals sound like nice things that you could explore and experiment with. Not a to-do list, not something that you must do and you must do all of them. And again, make it yours, do it however you want to do it. But from Rachel and I over at Soul Compass, we are sending you lots and lots of love. So many nice things in the offing this year, and looking forward to sharing all of those things. We are doing a Lunar light session, which is a new circle that we're bringing in. It's going to be obviously just local to Dorchester, but it's a monthly new moon honouring. So we will just be inviting people to the Dorchester Therapy and Yoga Centre to talk about the astrological aspects going on at the time, bringing in that cosmic wisdom, integrating them with some meditation, some sound healing, and just spending some time in that circle and in that discussion, and just creating that community. So you'd be very welcome if you'd like to come. Our first one is 17th of April, and we are starting at 7. So I will put a link below as well if you want to look at the tickets for that. But our first session we're doing as an introductory offer of £11. So if you can make it and you live locally, we'd love to see you. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video.